It's not one
Do
and
it
the same.
all.
Drinking.
You don't want to do. It's not the case.
Drinking. I mean, when you just engulfed in somebody's beauty
Wow.
with
Bruh.
Taraji and Nia Long, like they bath water. It looked like it tastes like flowers.
But I promise you it don't, because you gotta remember they taking that bath because they dirty, so that don't work.
I mean, it might be a little. It might taste like tequila with a little, you know. With,
You like the, so you saying you like that little twang? You like that? You like,
splash of cherry soda or something like that.
nah, that's it's
Okay.
like the Biggie line where Biggie used to say like, "You look so good, I suck on your daddy dick."
Well, I'm not doing
Like
that.
no one's doing that for
no,
real.
that's not comparable to I'll
That
drink your
is-
bath
We
water.
got it. Like, okay.
Daddy's DICK.
I don't know.
versus-
I don't know why they let Biggie slide with that. That
I still don't. Hey,
he was saying some suspect lines.
that's
back
the
then.
most suspect line in my opinion in all of hip hop.
I'm
But they
like-
just let that go because it was Biggie. But
Yeah, I'm like, nah.
people talking about Lil Nas X and stuff like that. I'm like, Biggie started it.
But Biggie started the disrespect. But can I say one thing? We talked about like 2 episodes ago how Little Dirk said he doesn't drink alcohol, but he'll drink India's bathwater all day.
Yeah, but he's not
So
telling the truth.
this is a question I'm asking to
Yeah.
Josh, to
That
a
nigga
single
smoke.
man.
Some people
no,
don't-
he's-
Some people don't. Some
he's
people smoking
tweaking.
don't like to
Is he
drink.
tweaking?
Nah, he tweaking.
He's tweaking. Josh, if you were married to Nia Long, would you drink her bathwater?
No, because he's married to
No,
her.
no,
so
no,
he
no,
would
no.
drink
I
her.
said Josh. If you were married to Nia
So
Long.
how many years in deep?
Really? It's conditional?
Not because
Men always put conditions on.
in the beginning, that's when the most like that's the honeymoon. And
Nah.
after a while, just like all right.
No, I don't
That's
care.
when you start to
Already had
she
this
start to
drink
pass
before.
gas in front of you. So you be like, you know
She
what?
farting in the
I don't
bath
want
water
that.
and stuff.
You thought they was bubbles before. They're not really bubbles. It's gas bubbles. Like you don't want that no
So
more.
you don't want a human being?
It's not about a human being, but
Nah, she
when
farting in the bath water now. She too comfortable.
yeah. And
So
what,
the bath
So you're
water
not
taste-
drinking it anymore?
no.
The bath water taste is tainted now.
This goes back to men like the idea of a woman.
But that's what I'm telling you about the whole when dudes say I'll drink your bath water and you saying I want that. It's like it's not real.
No, it's not real. I'm just bullshit.
That's just that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's
Niggas
not,
is not
real.
drink. Well, I'm pretty
There's some
sure
nasty
there's some nasty ass
Pathetic.
motherfuckers.
You guys
Hey,
are there's
hey, for
men out
sure
there
there's some
that would
nasty
drink the
niggas out
bath
there.
water. I'm just saying.
I believe it.
I believe
I'm
that too.
but-
And I guarantee you that that is not a nigga you want to be with. That's the dudes that you be finding like they be making those documentaries.
I
on.
think Drake drinks the bath water.
It's almost like
Drake drinking. No, Drake
Nah.
is literally out here
Drake's
telling
they
drinking-
probably drinking his bath water.
Drake's on Drake's new
I'ma keep
album.
it-
That's probably a fact. But on Drake's new album, he's talking about how we sleep with her and then kick her back to Skid Row or something like that.
I didn't hear that
Give
part.
it back to the streets.
That's what Sweetie said.
Nah, she took him back.
I would do anything for the
Wait,
man I love.
Quavo
I'll
and
drink
Sweetie
your.
back together?
That's what I mean. That's what the rumor said. That's what I
No,
heard.
she's not taking him back.
I don't know. I heard they was kicking it.
I don't know, but I would drink your bath water.
You lying.
I know.
We're gonna find out tonight. Though. I'm
Nah.
gonna have a bubble bath,
We-
and we're gonna let y'all know
But
next
girls-
episode.
but girls
if she
don't
drank
do
a
that.
I was
cup
about to say something about hold that.
Girls,
I had a joke in mind. I was like, I'm gonna hold that.
All right, we're gonna start
I'm
then.
just
Hey, yo,
lying.
cheer.
I'm just lying.
the
It is what it
definition of
is.
teabag.
Now, I don't want to be TMI, but there's
Hold
nothing
up.
wrong with a little
Chill,
tea.
relax.
I like tea.
Respectfully.
So we already had a
Whoa.
shot. So
Cream, no sugar.
Hey, this is a whole nother episode. Y'all in for something today. I ain't gonna front. We
Cream,
on
no sugar.
we on some we on like our second and third round of martinis. We took some shots just to start.
They're sugar-free martinis.
We got some stuff that we want to talk about.
So, hold up. So Erica was like, "Yeah, Josh, you should try this. I got the sugar-free martinis, and they got the, but she put sugar around the rim. I'm diabetic, so
Dang, you threw me under the bus.
She was trying to kill my nigga off slowly.
but I'm like, at the same time, I be fucking around as far as like eating shit I ain't supposed to. So I'm like,
Yeah,
it
because
is what
according
it
to
is.
your Instagram,
I had ribs yesterday.
you're not being
so-
diabetic friendly.
But he be monitoring it, so it's a little bit different.
I'm sorry.
You tricked him. You said, "Hey, this is sugar free," so he thought he could go in. But then you filled the rib with sugar.
I honestly did not think that one through, and my bad. I'm not trying to worsen your situation.
No, it was just all fun and jokes.
But that is funny. But it's yummy, isn't it?
Nah, it was fun because I got like basic niggas tendencies. Like I do basic shit. I'm not really the nigga that's drinking martinis. I'm drinking vodka shots and throwing them back, vodka and cranberry, like shit, like basic nigga tendencies. I'm not that nigga that be doing all that. So when she's like, you ever drink martinis? I'm like, no, I be around hood niggas. Like,
So you telling me? But James Bond did it first though. He was like, you got to drink the martini, shaking, not stirring.
Richard, you're way more
James
bougie
Bond was
than
wearing
Josh.
tuxedos and shit. I don't be out here in tuxedos and shit.
Josh, okay, because like it's so funny.
They be putting me on. So I remember
Yeah,
a while ago the charcuterie report.
Thing.
Erica had mentioned, I forgot what she said exactly, but she's like, yeah, I got such and such on the charcuterie board. I was like, what the hell is a charcuterie? I was like, it sounds like a old white person coochie or something. I'm like, what is? That's me just being ignorant. Like, so they giving me exposure. They're trying to level me up.
So it's so funny because my husband, he's a little bad and bougie.
I'm not.
Yeah, he's a little bad and bougie, and
We're parents over here.
Yeah, my son just came down the stairs. Spider-Man Jr. just came down the stairs. But so here's the funny thing. I've always had like just exposure to so many things, and I've introduced Richard to like the Lux life, and then he has also introduced me to like some things too. But we've both been introducing
Give me 1 second.
Josh.
Hold up, time out. I'm gonna introduce this real quick. Chill. Chill. We here another episode. This episode is gonna be fun because we've been already sipping on drinks, and we wanted to just bring it back to the core real quick. We had some special guests over the last couple weeks, which I think has been awesome, and I still want to make sure that we just let y'all know that this is the crew. This is what you guys need to get used to. And then we can roll into our ratchetness. But welcome to another episode of He Said, She Thinks. It's your guy, the one and only that guy, Rich Ivy. If you can't tell, we are a little bit already intoxicated. I'm lit. I ain't gonna front. That last little shot of vodka, and I don't even really mess with vodka, kind of got me. So I think this is going to be a real episode in terms of like just
good conversation.
Yeah, and that's where the basis of this whole podcast started, was just us having good conversations, and I felt like Josh was a good vibe for it, which is why this made sense. So I think it's going to work out for a lot of our conversations. But to my right, I have the lovely, the beautiful, the one and only
Erica Carter.
Ooh, say that, Mrs. Carter. Everybody say, hey, Miss Carter.
Yes,
we out
Mrs.
here
Carter.
Bigging up his queen.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm like Lil Durk out here. I'm just saying, follow Glamlux Fitness on Instagram, glamluxfitness.com. New merch about to launch. I'm just bigging up my girl. Just I'm just saying. But anyways, on my left side, shout out to Lil Durk. On my left,
know what it is. It's your boy Simmons. SXMMNZ_THE_creative CREATIVE. And it's your boy. Follow me if you need any type of services. I got you.
Any type of
services.
With the low voice.
And my man got some content coming out soon.
Oh, y'all not ready for that.
Y'all not even,
Josh is
not
really
even
a creative. So like his Instagram name, both of your Instagram names really speak to who you are. Like that guy, Rich. Like there's no better way to describe you than that guy. And then Josh, the creative. Like you're so creative.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate that a lot. I want to start with this. So we're gonna dive into some topics today that I think are pertinent to life, which is why I really wanted to have this episode with just us, no guests, because it speaks to the core of who we are as a group, in terms of just like as a team. But I want to start off by just asking, like, how are you guys doing in life? Because I have experienced the loss of someone that was unexpected, completely unexpected, in terms of like a friend of ours committed suicide. And it's like, if you see how the person lived on social media, you'd be baffled in terms of just saying like, nah, not him. Mm-hmm. So in terms of that sense. So I just want to start off by doing a life check just to make sure that we all good. Because I think I know for me, it's bad for me too. Because like, I'm not one to really reach out. Even though they say like, Erica's on her zodiac sign life. Even though they say like cancers and stuff or like emotional and all that type of stuff, I feel like I'm not really in that bag so much, and I definitely am not one to so much like express how I feel a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of just deal with it, get over it, and keep it pushing. Yeah. It's like, they be like, check on your strong friends. Yeah. 100%. Like that's me, because I ain't gonna really reach out and say nothing. I just keep it pushing and keep it going. But with that being said, I'm in a different place mentally now However, I think it's a good place for us to have that conversation with each other. Just like, how do you feel? Like, you know, people like, how are you?
Yeah.
And you be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But you really not good.
But so to tap in on that point, a lot of men is like that. Like, especially growing up in the hip hop culture, like we feel like we gotta be tough and, you know, just be strong or whatever, and just black culture in general.
I think, yeah, I don't
You
say,
know
I
what
think
I'm
it's
saying?
just, I don't even think
Black
it's just
people,
hip hop
yeah.
culture, it's black culture. It's
Yeah,
like,
black culture in
I grew
general.
up saying, boys don't cry. Like, you
Yeah,
better stop crying.
yeah. So it's just like what I learned, like it's okay. Like there's strength in being vulnerable, and people don't realize that there's strength in that. Like we feel like we have to be just on guard, especially growing up like around like certain environments. Like you always just looking at people like you probably mean mug before you smile at somebody, type of situation. So the strength in being vulnerable is that it can't be used against you. Once you embrace that and you're okay with that, like it's okay for a man to cry. It's okay to say I need help. It's okay for a woman to reach out and say I need you. Need their husband, their wife, their friend, their mom, their brother, their sister, whatever the case may be. It's okay to reach out and say I'm hurt. Like help me get through this. I've been through an experience of being depressed. I experienced depression before on a serious level. So like during that moment, if I didn't know God and if I didn't have good people around me, that shit probably would have ate me up. And it's important to have good people around you. So when you do feel down, they can pull you up. You know.
So I wanna tackle that.
Okay.
But it's interesting. There's two ways I could take this. This is why podcasting is fun, and this is why it's dope to own your own stuff, guys. Because you can create. But so let's start here. I want to start first before we tackle that conversation, because you coming out of the depression, I feel like that's a conversation that needs to be had. But I want to start here with how do you feel right now? How are you right now?
I'm good. You know, I'm just, you know me. I just be out here grinding.
See, I don't that you know me part. That's what I'm talking about. I know you.
That's why I'm going through the explanation.
You. All right, cool.
So I'm gonna break it down. So, me being an entrepreneur, I don't have no safety net. I eat what I kill. If I don't go out here and work and grind, if I don't go out here and work and grind, I don't eat. My kids, you know, I can't do for them, whatever the case, you know. So, is there days that I stress? Of course. Is there days where I'm like, shit, I should be further ahead than what I am because I know my capabilities and what I can do. Am I really pushing myself to the level where I should be and I'm procrastinating? Of course. But for the most part, I'm comfortable with my outcome. Like, okay, I did this and I have to be okay with the results. So if I want more, it's time for you to level up. So as me being okay, I'm fine as far as just my mental health.
So your mental health is fine.
My mental health is fine. So it's like, in general, in speaking, like, there's days where I'm like, damn, I need to go harder, or I could be doing more, or I should be doing X, Y, and Z. Like, we all go through that. So, but right now, today, I'm fine.
So, like, when you said we all go through, like, the push and want for more, you're looking at that more so as, like, a positive spin, though. Like, that's not a stressor to where it's, like, life is bad, so it's like a stressor, like I got to do more. It's more so like life is good. I know what I'm capable of. I got to push. Yeah, like using it as like I guess like putting a battery in your back.
Yeah, like yes, and just to add more, it's like yes and no. So yes, I look at it for more so the glass is full or half full versus half empty.
Okay.
So and then there's also the aspect is like, damn, like I need to do more. Sometimes like shit, money be tight sometimes. And it's just like that's when the stress happens. And so it's just like, dang, I should be past this road in life and be okay. But I guess my faith, like just knowing like my faith in God and the faith in my abilities, I know I always get past. You always get past the dark times. It's about outlasting the dark times. So for me, deep. That's how I attack life. Just like outlasting.
That. Just outlasting. I like that.
It's the like endurance. The don't give up.
Don't give
aspect.
up.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's funny because listening to you talk, I'm thinking about all that you're giving to the world. like specifically you, all the free game, hashtag free game.
Yeah.
You've been
I
consistently
think that's
posting
dope, 'cause
free game,
That's why I like
right?
Josh. That's why me and Josh mess with each other because we both feel on that same vibe. I be my do what you want with that information.
Yeah.
He be dropping his free game
So
like.
this is crazy because you guys both
that's
don't even
unintentional.
realize, I think, to the capacity that you're planting seeds. Like both of you are planting seeds that are actually impacting people. Like people may not realize it right away, but the seed is planted because with you, with the do what you want with that information, literally a couple days ago, I was giving a younger person like some encouragement. It was like not planned. I just gave a younger person, someone who's way younger than me, some encouragement. And I walked away and said, do what you want with that information. I didn't think about it. It was subconscious. It was in my subconscious mind. And then the other day, also, literally like last week, this same past week, I was getting ready to post something on Instagram, like I didn't post it, but it was like some information. And I was going to hashtag it free game, but I was like, wait, you would be totally copying Josh.
I mean,
but it was,
but
it was like it's subconsciously in my mind. Like you guys both are influential and impactful. And it's like you might not even realize that you're planting seeds.
It's funny that you said that because even like earlier today, I always have like a lot of like self-reflection. I self-reflect and think about life. Like as ignorant as I come off, I'm very philosophical. And
you a philosopher?
Probably in my past life.
He didn't even know.
He
didn't even know about the KRS One. I just threw him about.
Several people.
He calls himself a hip hop head. He was supposed to say, "I think very deeply." He gonna catch that one later. For my hip hop heads, y'all know what's up.
Several people have told me that they think of you as the counselor on this podcast.
Hey.
I mean, I can see that. I'm the mutual, like.
No, but like you
are
do
they,
give
wait,
good
wait,
insight.
talk about. Are they saying that we need counseling, babe? Is that what's happening?
Well, I know you do.
I bring because it's a thing where it can either become male dominated or women dominated, and then it can either become a relationship thing where you have a side and she has a side. I'm the unbiased opinion. That's going to be.
But you
still
do
a
give
nigga at the end of
good.
the day.
You do give good
No, all right, hold on.
insight.
All right. All right. So that's all good. So we know Josh is mentally in a good place. I like that. And the stuff that he was talking about coming out of the depression, I do want to dive back into that. So don't let me forget that. Now we're going to dive into Erica Miss Carter. How are you feeling today?
Well, currently, presently, today, September. I don't know what day it is. What day is it?
The 5th.
September 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. September 5th, 2021.
What's the
Erica
math?
Carter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
Erica Carter is feeling very, very good, very optimistic, very at peace. Because you know what I did for my mental health? I invested into a life coach this year. I invested into a coach because I really needed it. This was a discussion actually that I had with you, baby, and Josh. We all talked about it a few months ago.
Yeah, we did.
Because the coach that I wanted, shout out to Coach Christy, the coach that I wanted in the program that I wanted to be a part of, it's called AAA. It's Authentically Aligned Accelerator. And accelerators. And the whole program was a 12-week program with group therapy plus one-on-one coaching to help you become more aligned. And it's what I needed. It's really, really, really what I needed. I thank God every day that I signed up for this program because I feel like it saved my life. We, as you mentioned earlier, we lost a friend recently who I wish that he knew the influence he had on the world and how positive he was and how loved and special he was, how much he meant to so many people. And that's why it's important to give people their flowers and let them know his music, his smile, his work ethic. We would always talk about how amazing his family was and how their goals, because we would just see such a positive light that gave hope. And to know that he was going through internal suffering to the point where he couldn't do it anymore, it hurts because I wish that, and we just attended his funeral like 2 days ago. I wish that I could have told him, that we could have told him, like, we look at you as the goal. You are so important. You are so valuable. And I was going through a point in time a few months ago where I felt like, what's the point? I felt unloved. I felt lonely. In a world full of people around me, I felt lonely. I felt like I have these dreams, ambitions, and visions and aspirations that nobody can connect to. Anyways, getting a coach for me was very, very, very impactful in my life. And I encourage people to get support, and may it be the right support, because I did try a therapist this year, but I didn't feel the connection. But I ended up finding a coach. And my coach, I've never met her in person. I found her on Instagram. But I felt like a connection, and that's the thing about energy. You can feel energy anywhere, and I felt her energy. She's also into fitness, and I just related to, like, I would watch her IGTVs, and I related to her. And she gives me homework assignments, and she is so supportive, and it's like, I feel like I have grown so much spiritually, and mentally, having that support. And I knew that, like, God brought her into my life. And so it worked out. Like, it's an investment, I'm not going to lie. But investing into your mental health is so worth it, because we invest into our physical health like it's no problem. Like, it's like it's nobody's business. We invest into our physical health, but our mental health is very, very, very important. And I just want to say, like, due to, like, all of the work, the inner work that I've been doing over the last 9 weeks, it has definitely changed my life to where I feel like this now today. I feel like I have infinite potential.
That's good.
I feel like I have access to abundance, and the level of abundance is infinite. I have abundance. I have like, literally, how I feel today is that I was made in God's image. So there's nothing wrong with me. No one can tell me anything different. I feel like I'm teaching people how to love me and how to respect me because of what I stand for and what I don't stand for. I feel more confident. I feel more like I'm living my purpose. And I feel very important. I might be lonely at times being an entrepreneur, but I'm okay with it because I realize that in order to have great things in life, you have to make great sacrifices. Even Jesus Christ made the ultimate sacrifice. You have to carry your cross every day. And I realized that if I want to go down this journey of entrepreneurship and create, like, a legacy and create a brand that's going to stand the test of time, there's something I'm going to have to give up. And right now, like, at times I do feel lonely, but I'm comforted by the fact that I am working on something so great and I'm fulfilling my purpose. I feel like I'm living my dream life come true. Like, I feel like I'm living a movie now. I could see that now. I couldn't see that before. And so, to answer your question, I am doing so good. I am so blessed. I am watching my words. I am loving myself. I am giving back to others. I'm operating at a high vibration. I have learned how to create, like, the best environment to operate at a high vibration. I'm praying more. I'm loving more. And I'm creating more. So life is great.
That is good to hear. It's always good to hear that.
So let's move it on to Richard. How are you feeling today?
Exactly.
You know what's funny? I was definitely not going to answer this question if someone didn't ask the question.
Really?
I wasn't. Because I was going to be like, y'all niggas don't care about me for real, guys.
We do care about you, even though you're that guy rich. But
I'm just playing. For real though, like, I appreciate the ask. Because, like, again, that's why I said, especially with me, I'm just like a interesting person. So it's like grew up under that whole philosophy of like boys don't cry, get over it, figure it out, go on to the next one, that type of situation. And I think that it's important to have these type of conversations. Mm-hmm. So me personally right now, to be completely honest, I am in a really good place. Mm-hmm. Like I am at a place of peace and certainty. And that's what makes me at a good place. Because in terms of like the certainty, like I know what's next for mm-hmm. me in terms of just like what I want to actually accomplish, which mm-hmm. makes it really cool. And I've been just doing some like work is in a good flow right now. As you guys know, I have a job. But like the perks have been amazing. Like just doing little things that I didn't even know I wanted to do. Yeah. But it's allowed me to also be in environments and put me in little certain situations and certain conversations that I wouldn't necessarily be able to be a part of if I was in a different situation, mm-hmm. Which helps me out from a mental standpoint. My wife is happy. So we've made those investments into her mental health. So that puts her in a good place. Her business is taking off, so things are going good on that end. And as a guy, it's weird because you put yourself in a situation to where it's like, no matter how well you're doing, mm-hmm. if your spouse is not prospering or living in their truth or living in their dream and their passion, mm-hmm. What I had to actually learn was that you personally, like, well, when I say you, I say me personally wouldn't be in a position to where they would be. If they're not happy, then no matter what is going on in my end, I can't be happy because mm-hmm. like they have to function and on that end. You're
going to receive that energy.
Bro, you receive it no matter what. One way or another, you receive it. So it's like it's good that I'm happy that I was able to take a step back and make sure that was in line, which then in turn put me in position to continue to, to pursue stuff like this podcast. Like, even though my wife is a part of it, it's still not something that she necessarily wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So it allowed me to, like, having her a part of it helps, but also like making sure that her stuff is in line and you can see it growing and going and stuff like that, and helping out when I can on those ends. It helps out a lot, just for my own personal mental health. And then just like, but for me personally, like I've been able to experience, like we'll just be cool. It's dope. So there's something I did yesterday that was dope that I didn't even realize it was dope until I actually did it. It was cool. Yeah. Cause like I knew it was coming up. So I went to the USC game, and it was a company sponsored thing. So it's like when my company does stuff, we do it big. I ain't even gonna front. It's kind of lit.
It's lit.
It's lit. When we do stuff, we do it big. Like for our Christmas party, it's officially official. Ludacris is performing at the Christmas party this year. Okay. Put it that way. Like my company do stuff big. Like Luda, that's my guy. It's one of my favorite rappers.
So put me on the plus one. Erica's gonna stay home. Erica's
gonna stay home for that one. You're not gonna make him look good like I will.
Hey, I can't argue with that.
He gonna be turned up in the crowd with me though. But no, when my company does stuff, like we do stuff big. Like we have like when we go to sporting events, it's not just like we go sit in the seats and you usually get a couple tickets. Like we suites and all that type of stuff. So this year it's like
bad and bougie.
Yeah, so this year we was like, we on field access, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right. And it's funny because you forget how cool life can be in terms of like just what's out there and what's available and what's next. Yeah. So it's like, there's like, oh yeah, you guys are gonna go on the field for the coin toss. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And I like literally in my head, I was like, all right, that's cool. That's dope. That's what's up.
Until you did it.
Until I did it. I ain't gonna front, bro. I'm out there and I'm like, hey, this is lit, dude. Like, bro, I'm out there I'm on a sideline, like pumping up the student section, like just like it's lit. Like it's a good moment. It's a good moment. And then like after the coin toss, I don't even know what his name is, but shout out to number 6. But he was after the coin toss, he had like jumped up a couple times, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know that football jumps where you got your pads on and you do like that little 2 hops where you feel like you pumped up. Yeah. I almost ran over, bro, and gave him the buck too. Like, let's go. Like
chest bumped and everything.
Yeah, I almost did it. And it was just like that energy and that vibe. And I was like, that moment just made me realize like life is good. And then also like life is limitless. Yeah. Like in terms of like what's possible.
Infinite potential. Infinite potential. It's infinite crazy. Abundance.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, but it's like, so from a mental health standpoint, I'm probably at if this question was asked during the pandemic, it was a really weird time for me, and it was more so just because of like it's crazy when you're married with a child, and the grips of life is on you in terms of like being that provider, that protector, and stuff like that. And then like and it was weird because I mean things were good last year. Don't get me wrong, but I lost out on a lot of money that that should have been made. So it's like when you just see certain things, like Josh knows I bought a house last year. At first, I was like, "Oh, cool, babe. We're gonna lace it. It's gonna be whatever you want." Bro, we got into the house. Pandemic hit. I was like, "Hold up."
Shit. Probably should have waited.
Wait, talk about. I was like, "Was this a good decision?" Like, yeah. Like you start to second guess everything. But yesterday at that game, it just kind of like made me realize that like, okay, I'm in a good spot. Life is good. Things are going great. Things are gonna be great. But just for me personally, it just felt like right. Like life is good. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in terms of just making sure my family is straight and all the ins and outs of that.
I want to touch back on something that Erica has said. So she mentioned like you never really know the lives that you touch, the people that you touch, like with your words and with your presence and what you mean to other people. And the fact that being who we are individually, we mean something to people. Erica does fitness. So there's a lot of people she encounter and give motivation and push to be a better them. You give your words of wisdom or whatnot. You're very alike like me, so that's why we gel so much. So we have a certain type of OG shaman
connection,
like
energetic alignment.
Yeah, like
Erica with her
like people like
energetic alignment.
Like we speak a certain way and it connects with folks, and it's like sometimes it's just even everybody in life, you really just don't know who's really looking up to you, who's like motivated by what you said. Like Erica was telling me that one of her friends, like I did a shoot for her, and that was like, oh, he blew up. I'm like, shit, I wish. But I'm like, you never know how somebody perceive you on the internet.
And perception.
But I look at you like that too, Josh. I was literally like agreeing with her, like, yeah, he's booked and busy, like he's.
Cause to be honest, so like Erica, like she was somewhat in the beginning of my journey of doing photography and all the cameraman work that I do. So she helped me build like the core of my business, per se. Like
shout out to Glam Lux again, shameless plug. Yeah. I'm about to be on my little dirt. This goes back to that conversation we was having to like, should you post your girl? I know a lot of dudes be against that and all that type of stuff. I'm all for it. I big minds up. And again, shout out to Glam Lux Fitness.
Gas.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Hey, that's 100% black woman owned business. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with it.
So like she helped me build my brand in terms in reciprocating that I helped her build her brand per se.
1,000%.
So
1,000.
like all of her content or whatever is pretty much shot by me.
All.
So like with that, like people, you don't know what you're doing like when you're helping somebody like, and you believe in their vision, or just when you just speaking good words, you share like words is free. It costs you nothing to say something nice to somebody. Give a good word. Be kind. Like, hey,
that's a bar right there.
You know what I'm saying?
It costs you nothing to say something nice to somebody.
It does.
Make sure y'all hold on to that one.
Especially like as men, especially as black men, like it's okay. Like bro, like you look fly. It's nothing wrong with. I remember having this conversation with somebody on social media, and he had a weird stance. Like I will never tell my homeboys he look fly. Blah blah blah. I'm like. You're toxic. You have a toxic masculinity about
Toxica.
you. So it's just like it's okay to say like okay, like to reach out like you good or just give kind words. Like okay, that was I see what you're doing with your business. I see like give good words because you never know where somebody is at mentally. We could be smiling on the surface. That's a mask. People don't understand. A lot of 90% of the time, that's a mask. When you said when somebody asks you how are you doing. A lot of times we don't really respond to that. Like, how are you doing? It's just a greeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
really
saying,
a question,
bro.
It's like a routine.
We treat it like good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And it's like that's a real question.
Yeah.
But people's like, how you doing? Hey, how's
It's
it
just
going?
like a formality.
It's
Like,
just,
it's like you're
it's a
supposed to ask
formality.
that.
Yeah.
You're
But
supposed to ask that.
Like,
and you're supposed to say good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say that,
It's
but
a
that's
routine.
it's programming. It's the routine that programs you. Like, I'm supposed to say X, Y, and Z. But if we start to be honest about how are you, man, to be honest, I'm kind of fucked up out here, and I just dealing with some baby mama shit, or my business ain't doing too good. The pandemic got me out here hurt. Like, whatever the case. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes people don't want to hear complaining. Like, it's one thing if you're.
I think that's the root of the problem, though, is because it's not complaining when it's.
Yeah, I guess what it is it's one thing. Like, it's one thing to say like I'm hurt and you're reaching out for help, but then there's another when somebody is constantly in a situation. It's like, bro, like, get your shit together.
And I feel like you
that.
are
Yeah,
like Rich. I feel like you, because I feel like, baby, you are like that. Yeah.
I
Especially
agree.
with me. And especially like if you think I'm being dramatic, you're like, oh, it must be that time of the month, or oh,
I mean, am I right? I'm right 90% of the time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the
90% of the time it's that time of the month, guys. But
you never know how deep someone's internal pain is because you're not in
their body.
I feel that, and I agree
you
with
never
that.
know the extent.
Yeah.
And I think that
He says, she thinks. Shameless
people
plug.
mask their hurt so well
100%.
that you don't know the like stability, like for suicide. It's like you don't know like if people have really thought like maybe everyone's better off without me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the case. Everyone is worse off without you. But you, in your mind, you think the world would be better without you.
You trick yourself because it goes back. So let's tie it back to when you say you want to go back to depression.
Yeah,
being
because
somebody
you said that, yeah, you dealt with that,
I dealt with
and
being,
you came through it. So I wanted to hear that journey.
So the idea, I never understood suicidal thoughts until I was depressed. Now, was I going to do it? I don't think so. But that thought came to mind. It's just like you're hurting so bad, like you want to escape that feeling. It's just you're just engulfed in darkness. Your feelings like when you're grieving about somebody and it's just like you just crying uncontrollably. Like that's that feeling. And it's like you can't run away from it. And it's just weighing you down, weighing you down, weighing you down. And, the idea of something being like life might be better for other people without you here. I can't really speak towards that per se. And I think half the time people don't necessarily even think that. But it's just
I have.
but it's just the
I've had
idea. That's why I say half the time. I'm pretty sure there's people that experienced it. But it's more so of the idea of just constantly feeling that, and you just feeling just that weight on your shoulders. And it's just like, it's very important to have good people in your circle, good people in your corner. And especially you can't just have you can't just have anybody praying over you. Like you don't know what type of energy they giving off.
That's a good point. So Erica made a side note. I don't want to disregard what she just said, but also I don't want to
Disregard what Josh just
said. I'm in an interesting situation. However, I also don't want this to be like
Are
the
you
world's.
betwixt?
I'm betwixt. I like that word.
Betwixt.
I like that word. But also, I don't want this to be like. But I guess it's necessary. It's not.
It's necessary. Sometimes
but it's
you
necessary.
just gotta.
Sometimes it's necessary. I had a different
Let
idea.
it flow.
Going to this, but I'm gonna let this one live. So, going back to what Josh was talking about for a second here. So, me personally, I have always been under the guise of just do better, just do more. You can make it. Just get to the other side. If you're going there's this one phrase that always sticks in my head. So it's like if you're going through hell, why stop? Get through it.
Outlast the situation.
You know what I mean? Like that's always been my mentality. So like when you say that you were in that depression standpoint, you never really got to that point. But I do want to, because my journey in terms of like getting through, I guess you can call it hard times, is just to keep going through it. I don't know exactly where that comes from. Maybe it's coming, whatever it is, to where life always gets better. but I want to know exactly, as best as you can, describe like what that looks like in terms of coming out of a depression. Whether it be like, am I leaning on my circle more, or is it just me changing my mentality? Like, what actually got you through that? Because I feel like that's something that people need to hear.
Okay, so number one, there's like, I didn't think I would ever be depressed and ever have those type of thoughts. You just, it's possible for everybody to get to that. It just got to take the right storm to just crumble everything about what your reality is. Once your reality and perception about life is just crumbling and like you can't understand, that's when you get in that dark place. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like what you grip to is like, this is my life. And it's like all of it is just withering away. And you have no concept. Like, put it like this. When you work a regular job, you know what to expect. Your check is going to be what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you have no predictability about how to move forward and what that check is going to look like, shit get weird. Like you don't understand. So that's the best way I can break it down. So as far as the mentality to overcome it, for me personally, like, you definitely got to talk to God. Definitely got to get in your prayer bag. You definitely need to have people that are speaking good words onto you when you just break it down just uncontrollably. You definitely have to be okay. Like, it's all right to be vulnerable. It's okay. And that's when to be honest, that's when I found out it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry.
That's one of my favorite things. So one of my favorite quotes is, I tell Erica this all the time. It's to feel your feels.
You got to feel your feelings.
I hear what you're saying on that end. So when you say you have that conversation with God and that vulnerability, what is that? So as a man, like, what does that look like? So again, like for me, it's always just been press. Like, I've always been one to get out of situations, maybe not technically, but at least theoretically in my head, on my own accord.
So for me.
So what did that look like for you? So
for me, like, again, we got young Carter in the building. We got kids out here. They're trying to tell him to go back upstairs. This is real live and on record. Carter's over here whispering.
He's lip talking.
He's not listening. He's not paying attention to me.
So he's
pointing
like disregarding like everything that we're doing right now. It's kids.
So hold on, we're gonna bring him on. He's here.
Where did I leave at?
It was real life. My son came downstairs. I tried to point to make him go back upstairs. He wasn't having it. He started to mouth his words off while Josh was pouring out his heart and trying to give us.
I know Josh was like being so deep.
But it was dope because that's real life.
It's free game. Free game.
That's real life. That's really how life goes. It's like you can't be in the middle of a storm and think you about to come through it, and it's another hurricane come.
So Carter is not a hurricane.
So getting past
how do you get through it? I guess was so
for
question.
me, like I said, it was prayer and having good people around. I try to stay busy so I won't think too much on the thing that's bothering me and giving me ache. You know, so it's
staying busy.
So staying busy, like you said, like just push forward. So if you like idle time, you're just going to sit there and just live in your mind. If you just live in your mind, all you're going to do is just pull.
I'm going to quote Guru. That goes back to that one quote where it says, the devil makes work for idle hands.
Yeah.
So staying
idle minds is the devil's playground.
Yeah. So it's like staying busy. I think that's a good, because I guess what I'm looking for right now throughout this conversation is, like you said, you dealt with that, is these tangible takeaways. Because it's like, I think a lot of people go through this type of stuff. And then, I mean, I grew up in the church, so you hear that thing, I'm going to pray for you.
Yeah.
Pray about it. And it's like, even growing up in the church, I be hearing that.
Honestly,
but I be like, bruh.
I'm gonna keep it 100 like that. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna pray about it. Like, it's not that simple.
That, yeah, it's like
it's really not
so
that simple.
So I think that's a tangible takeaway, is that staying busy.
Staying busy, like really, like
staying productive though.
Were you staying busy
That's
on your
I think that's when I was,
craft or like
Staying
staying
productive.
I was
staying
saying
occupied? 'Cause it's
so
two
for
different
me,
things.
like that was during the time I was really working out with Dave a lot.
King,
So King
hey,
Dave,
shout out to King.
King Day, the fitness.
Shout out to King.
King.
I'm gonna give him a
he
real
just
shout out.
hit me up on IG too.
I'm gonna give him a real shout out. What is it?
We all love
Shout out
Dave.
to shout out
That's my guy.
to King underscore David underscore
We
the
met through
one.
Dave.
Huh?
Yeah,
we
we
met
did.
through Dave.
Oh yeah.
Follow him
That's
on-
how we know each
Yeah,
Follow him
other.
on
through
the gram.
Dave.
That's it.
Dave is the goat.
He a different animal.
The
My-
fitness goat.
Hey, he be having you work out for like 7 hours. And you don't
Literally,
understand what
it's
just
not an
happened.
exaggeration.
But that's when I was at my swollest because I'm like I'm going through what I'm going through. I'm in the gym just working off frustration, going to work or whatever the case may be. So it's just like I'm
So
staying
it's
busy.
So when you say staying busy though,
Being
it's
productive.
not just staying busy. It's being
Yeah.
productive.
Yeah, so it's staying busy, and you're not letting that idle time eat you up, and you're not drowning in that darkness. Because if you just allow yourself just to sit up in it, you're gonna drown, and then the worst possible situation. We got 20 minutes. We got 20 minutes to go. So, so we were side talking, but that's how
I think
I
that's
got
important.
through it. So me staying busy, me praying, like and as far as like the information that really pushed me, I was really heavy in Proverbs in the Bible. Because to me, that's the
That's
most
my
tangible.
That's your favorite
That's the most.
book.
Second favorite book.
That's the most.
Yeah, look at you knowing me.
Realistic, tangible.
Yeah, it's the most tangible,
practical.
realistic.
You know,
yeah,
yes.
you know what I'm saying.
Steve
Like,
Harvey talks about that a lot too, where he says like a lot of people write these like self-help books and stuff
Yeah.
like that. He was like, y'all just need to read the Bible. All the self-help books, all they do is repeat what the Bible said already. So just
It
stay
do,
in
but
that's good that you were in Proverbs.
But to tap on that real quick, so sometimes the Bible, the wording can be too complicated. So
Yeah.
some of these books actually do help somebody verse like.
Yeah.
But that's not to knock the Bible though. So, but that's how like I needed something tangible. I needed to be busy. I needed to not think because I'm like again, if going through that period of time, if I did not have the people that I had around me, and if I didn't know God, either I was going to be gone or somebody else was going to be gone. Like, I'll phrase it like that.
These things are the most fun things.
Okay, so
Literally.
brief intermission, and I was pouring my heart out and all that stuff.
Hey, my man Josh was about to shed a tear, and then the doorbell rang.
Thug tears, thug life. And then out of nowhere, Nika pops up.
I'm back.
She's back.
The baddest.
She's back. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that.
But just tapping back into where I left off at, as far as depression, you just got to stay busy, find something productive, and you just got to outlast the pain. Like you're going to go through that, and you just got to be okay dealing with the feelings, and it's just going to take a while.
I think that's the biggest thing that people have to understand. As I was saying earlier, it's like you got to feel your feels. It's like, I mean, I do it personally, not outwardly, and I think honestly it probably should happen a little bit more outwardly. But it's just like feel your feelings, like whatever you're going through, whether it's a happy moment, a sad moment, whatever it is, like actually be in that moment and feel it and embrace it. That way that you can realize that what happens with moments is moments past, and then as long as you can enjoy that moment, you'll be solid.
Facts. I think
And
we
I
said
think
a lot.
we tackled that. I
We
wanted
said a whole lot.
There's gonna be some more I was gonna dive into, but since we have lovely Nika here, we're gonna transition and have some fun with this one right now.
Nika just popped
This
up.
was not planned.
Can I just say, Nika looks so bomb.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, you look so pretty.
Maybe I should just get ready in 2 minutes from now on.
Hey, that's what 2 minutes look like.
He just
Hey,
co-signed.
That's
co-sign.
what 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll
What's an
take
hour
it.
look
Yeah,
like?
that's what I'm imagine an hour.
He said she just dropped the Drake album real quick.
Right? I'm too sexy.
Right? Certified lover girl.
That's like my favorite song on that album.
Really?
really?
That's a
Yeah.
skip.
That one.
Speaking about the album, we're gonna talk
Love
about that.
All.
But that's
That
a
album
skip.
is a weed play.
Really?
Yeah, that one. It's Love All.
I don't even know what Love All is. So
Love 'em all.
I'm gonna keep it a butt. So this is the thing that we want to talk about this. This Drake and Kanye situation. So Drake's album is too long. I have not gotten through all the songs yet. Way Too Sexy. I've listened to it twice, and I have determined that when I put that on that, when I listen to the album next time, I'm skipping that song. And you just said that's your favorite.
But the video
What?
is
You see the
fire.
video?
Why? The video made me. That's why I listened
The
to it
video
twice.
makes me want to
It
re-listen
looks
to it.
like the video.
The video is why I
better.
listened to it
makes
twice.
it better.
But it's still trash. The song is trash.
There's a
But I
visual,
think
so it's definitely
sometimes
better.
the visual, like,
Whoa. It's
that's not
Kawhi
what I
Leonard
meant.
is why I
But
listen
I
to
have a problem with like not listening to the words. Like I'll hear a beat and then I'll automatically be like, oh my god, I love it.
You like the vibe.
But
I
that's
like
what,
the vibe.
and that's exactly what I was telling people on Facebook because people was trying to.
Ooh, you hear that?
I heard
we
this,
can get lit
and
to
then it
this,
was
like,
skip.
But that's the thing. Like I was having a conversation on Facebook.
It's probably gonna go up
and
in
I was
the club,
telling
though, I ain't
people,
gonna lie.
I'm like, women like the album more than men, and somebody was trying to like really debate me about it, and I was like, she was saying something like, I guess Drake is at a level where like he's not relatable as far as success. I'm like, no. That
nothing to do with
musicality is just not on point for men. Women listen to music most time for a vibe. Men, we're listening to the lyrics and the musicality and the content, and it's just like it just wasn't for me personally. It wasn't. I'm like 6 songs in, I was like, I'm bored. Like I'm gonna move on. And I start skipping. I start skipping.
I loved it.
There was a couple like cool tracks like
Nah,
Lil
see,
Wayne.
look, hey, you know
Lil
what?
Wayne's
Hey,
fast
y'all
on
know
there.
what number? You know what number 7 is? Way Too Sexy. See, at 6 songs in was enough.
I will admit it wasn't all that.
I expect like Drake is very talented. So I'm like looking at his past work, like Take Care. I'm like this is a weak.
But
like,
he hasn't made a dope album since Take Care. Let's keep it a buck.
Drake
Has not made a dope album since
Take Care is one of my favorite albums.
But
of
he's
all
done
time.
albums where there were more moments to it. This was very lackluster.
But there's moments because the
That's what I said, more
You know,
moments.
but you know what the funny part is? You know what the moment was for me? Again,
Lackluster.
the album is too
spelling bee
long.
word.
Ooh.
I was like lackluster. Okay, I literally was like, okay, Josh.
Hey, you know what the moment was? Oh, this is the problem. That's how you know it's a problem so far. So for
Lil
one,
Wayne was the moment.
I haven't heard the
No.
whole Lil Wayne. I have to run that one back. But so far, the moment was when Jay-Z came on, and he dropped that bar where he was like, you know the value, you know the price of everything, but the value of nothing. That's the best moment so far of the album to me, and that's a problem.
I like that one too, though.
If the feature is the moment, that's a
That's a
problem.
problem.
But to me, overall, his beat selection was just dry as hell. I was like, this sound like the last project, and it's just like
It's not even so much the last project. I think that
it sound like
Drake-
throwaways of the last project that just didn't make it.
and that's crazy because he threw out the throwaways of that Dark
Exactly.
Lanes, the Dark Lanes tapes.
So,
Whatever.
yeah.
He put the throwaways out, and it's still throwaways. But I think the problem is that he doesn't want to. I think what makes
He know he can't miss. Like he could throw out this humming. He's gonna sell.
he like
He's
Pootie
Drake.
Tang. He like Pootie Tang. My man, they be.
I think Drake is just a likable artist, so
Exactly.
automatically,
That's what I had to almost fought Erica
anything
yesterday
that he
because of that.
puts out, like people are gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
He's gonna
like,
do numbers.
Yeah,
You
And then,
know-
like he's gonna have the captions that the women go crazy about.
it's the
like,
captions for me.
It's his voice for me. That's what I said. It's his
Yeah,
voice
Erica
for
almost
me.
got
It's
slapped
the
yesterday.
Scorpio
I'm not
for
even
me.
hitting women.
Scorpio.
Yeah.
Drake is a Scorpio.
You know,
Let's
Erica.
just
Hey,
make
bro,
that
real talk.
clear.
When he was driving yesterday, Erica had the nerve.
He
to say-
didn't mean that.
This
let's,
is probably
let's clean that
Hey,
up.
yeah, I didn't mean I would slap her.
Yeah, he was
Obviously.
just he's
I'm never
joking.
gonna hit a woman.
These
Jokes.
jokes. Ta-da.
He probably was gonna slap me.
But she had the nerve to
But I
not only
might
say
like
You
that.
gonna say that about another light skinned man?
Hey, bro, she,
Nigga.
nigga, bro, she told me that she was like, Drake is my favorite Scorpion. Or Scorpio. I had to take a second and think. I was like, you know what? I'm about to go
I
find.
can live with that.
Hey, look, my wife is a Scorpio, and I was like, I'm about to go Google who's my favorite Scorpio now.
Oh god.
But I didn't care about him saying that because
She
I
didn't
know
care until I tell her who my favorite Scorpio is, though.
You know my
I
favorite
really
cancer?
don't care. I don't care. Because if I'm not
Ain't
your
going.
favorite Scorpio, there's like probably a whole list of people whose favorite Scorpio I am.
And then you go down. Ooh,
This
shots.
is where it gets spicy.
Scorpio.
And then you go on IG, you start scrolling, see
Like,
Taraji
no
P.
cap.
Henson, like, hey, auntie. Like, you looking good out here in these streets.
So have fun with Auntie.
Yeah, have fun.
Call
like,
her when you're bored.
Really, Josh? That's the
Auntie.
best you got. I think because Sierra's
I
a
was drinking
Scorpio,
water.
I think she's a bomb
You
Scorpio.
heard that? She said Sierra's a Scorpio.
She is.
Sierra,
Yes.
the singer, dancer.
Yeah. Lovely Nika's a Scorpio.
Scorpio. Isn't Kim Kardashian a Scorpio?
No, she's a Libra.
Which
But
one of
Kendall
those
Jenner.
Kardashians? Oh, Kendall.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
Aries though.
I claim Chris Jenner.
Aries
Oh, yeah.
though.
Hey, Kris Jenner's a boss. Like,
Yeah.
she a boss.
And she gets the
I
younger.
think
She a boss babe
Gabrielle
for real.
Union is a Scorpio too.
I actually saw that. Yeah, Julia Roberts, Gabrielle Union,
Gabrielle Union
Ryan
always
Reynolds,
messed up, though, ever since she
Leonardo
told-
DiCaprio. There's a lot of celebrity Scorpios.
You know me.
Actually, Scorpios are. I'm not trying to be all zodiac crazy, but Scorpios is like one of the signs that they say become like the most successful people.
So
Who says that?
yeah, I don't know. Like,
You're like, well,
That's
living
kind of a
proof
reach.
right here.
so,
Cat.
so we got kids back in the episode.
Parent life, we out here.
Mommy, can we go outside?
Not yet.
Okay.
Go back upstairs for a little bit. This is real life podcasting, baby. We
Man.
out here. I love it.
So what we transitioning to?
Let's talk about this fake verses.
What verses?
It's a fake verses.
The fifth verses.
It's Drake versus Kanye.
Oh,
So I
Kanye is too
listened,
emotional.
but not well. I mean, he dropped the song. So it's funny. So because I did a little bit of further research, and Drake dropped the Kanye West diss song on his OVO radio show,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people were saying that was the best song Drake dropped this year.
Oh,
And
so
It's a fire song.
Drake dissed Kanye.
Nah, Kanye dissed Drake on that Andre. It's called "Life of the Party."
No, what did Drake drop?
But Drake dropped that song. The
a diss
song got
song
leaked.
back to him?
No,
Or
Drake
the
leaked
Kanye
that
song?
song. Yeah,
Oh.
Drake leaked that song. And people was saying that's the best song Drake leaked so far.
That's crazy.
But also, I think that back and forth in between those two was like a thing in terms of like who's gonna have the better album. Even though, in my opinion, the albums are nothing the same, I still haven't gotten through either one of them because it's still. That was cool.
Listening to.
That was Kanye West sending his bad vibes to us.
Bad
Oh, you talking about this Stewart?
Oh, he's like creepy.
But his album musically was way like not musically, sonically was better than Drake.
I didn't even want to
Sonically,
listen to it.
100%.
Once I saw like the visuals, I was like,
What
oh,
do you mean?
hell no.
What visuals did
He's
you
like
see?
casting a spell on me.
You listened to the first song where he's like don da don da don da
I
don
couldn't.
da
I couldn't listen to that
It
song.
was like creepy. So I was
Yeah, you
like,
gotta skip that.
oh, no, thank you.
I couldn't listen to that
I
song.
felt bad after I skipped it though.
But I did
'Cause
like
you
the
guys-
Jay-Z
you know what Donda
song
is?
with him.
The Donda part, it's like so supposedly it's
said it was
the
his mom.
last. Yeah, they said Donda in the cadence of his mom's last heartbeats before she died, and you just skipped over that and didn't like it. That's cold.
Well, that
You
is
heartless.
I
actually
read that
Look,
actually, and
why
I
you
was even
heartless?
more creeped out.
Nah,
What?
that's
Creeped out? Why you
that's
heartless?
being extra.
Because I
If
feel
that- is that real?
That's what the streets.
Why
are
you
saying.
call
He
her
doing too much.
Why you call her
She
heartless?
didn't care about. She just said that's even more creepy.
But
That
it's not that I
He
didn't
just said
care. I
she's
just
doing
thought it was
too much.
creepy.
and I'm telling him he crazy too. What you mean?
Oh, so they're crazy, but you're not.
no, I'm just saying that's
I
disrespectful.
just feel like everything doesn't have to be like
He just kept.
So deep.
broadcasted. Like we don't.
Yeah, that's. I didn't know that. If I would have known that,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. That's,
It's weird, but
It's like
your
you
mom,
doing too much,
though,
bro.
like maybe like your
doing too
baby
much.
that you lost or something.
It's his
but
mom's,
your
though.
mom, like
his mom he lost.
I think
get
maybe
it.
creatively, because like with creativity,
Creatively, it's not even
you
close in
can't.
terms of who album is better.
You wait, hold on. Creatively though, there's no boundaries. So like, I do think like he tapped into like some type of like he's probably
Who's
like
he? Who's he?
Kanye West with putting the Donda chant to his mom's heartbeat. I kind of feel like that's kind of cool. It's like kind of genius because
it's not
he
genius,
probably
that's just
was-
being extra.
he was trying to
Bruh, that's
give back to
it's
his mom.
different though. Like it's
It's
But
different, but it's extra. Two
I
things
feel
can be true.
like all in all,
Donda.
no,
Donda.
don't play it. It creeps me out.
Donda,
Though.
Donda.
let me take my earphones
Yeah,
off.
I have a nightmare.
you're not feeling it, Donda.
I don't
No.
like
I skipped it too. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not
I
feeling the
skipped it.
Donda. I'm not feeling you cheated on Kim Kardashian. I'm not
That's
feeling none of it.
a whole nother conversation that
He
I
did?
don't know if that.
Yes, he said it in Hurricane with.
He didn't say that.
I
He
have the
alluded
lyrics.
to
You
that.
didn't let me read the lyrics to you.
He alluded to that. He didn't say that.
He basically said I cheated on Kim with groupies on the St. Pablo tour.
But he see how she said he
Interesting.
basically said that. That's the he
Well,
said
what
she
did he
thinks. That's the
say?
whole
Let's
premise.
Yeah.
debate.
That's the whole
let's read
premise
the lyrics.
of the conversation.
What are the
I'm
lyrics?
Towards,
gonna
like-
pull it up. You guys, I'm gonna get it in a second.
Because he might be saying that he thought about cheating on Kim Kardashian during the tour with groupies, but Erica just says that that's a fact. And it kind of goes back to like the whole Jay-Z thing where people say he cheated on Beyonce, but it's like we don't know who he cheated on her
He
with.
said he cheated. He cheated on Beyonce at one point. You don't think?
maybe?
She even made a
Nah,
whole
he-
Maybe
like,
you're in
We
denial.
did. He did.
But hold up,
You're,
hey.
you're delusional.
So you must have not heard Lil Duval in Charlamagne the God song.
Black man don't
Black
cheat.
men don't cheat.
That's bull.
Black men don't cheat.
That's bull. That's bull. Twinkie.
Hey, that song was fire though. You heard that?
Yeah, I heard it. Jay-Z, but the Kanye cheating on Kim, I didn't hear that. I didn't.
And Kim was at the his one of his many album. I don't know what you even call it. It was like was it a listening party? What do you even call
Yeah,
it?
because she's a good co-parent. She's co-parent of
But
the
she was
year.
in a wedding dress.
As Drake said, he's co-parent of the year, which I thought that was so cute.
That's cute to be co-parent of the year.
Yeah.
He also had another. I heard another verse in the album where he said I had that baby on accident, trying to get another girl back. Shout out to co-parent of the year.
He also said it took like so much to get the baby mama that he has, or something like that. In one
He
of his
lying?
songs. I was
Yeah.
like, he said it like took a lot of women to go.
I think I know
Yeah.
the song you're talking
I was
about.
Because he accidentally got her pregnant.
He didn't.
so
He
it took
didn't
a
mean
lot.
that. Because if he's seeing her,
What he meant was it took a lot of accidents for it to happen.
yeah.
He means I had a lot of unprotected sex with women. She the only one that
Okay.
got pregnant. So it
I
took-
got the Kanye lyrics.
Ski.
I got the Kanye lyrics.
to the windows.
Let's hear it.
He goes, "Here I go acting too rich. Here I go with the new chick. And I know that," he said, "and I know what the truth is, still playing after 2 kids. It's a lot to digest when your life is always moving." Now, after 2 kids, that's when he had Saint. It's before Chicago.
But he still said
and-
still playing. That doesn't mean he actually
Okay,
cheated.
playing,
Yeah,
really?
that's-
Yeah.
But he said it. He cheated. He
No, he
admitted.
didn't.
Nah.
Whoa,
He
see?
full-blown
Bruh.
admitted
Yes,
to cheating.
Yes.
At what part? What did you just hear?
He said,
He said, "You see me with the new chick."
yes. He said, and I know what the truth is, still playing after 2 kids.
Meaning
still
I'm
playing.
still effing around in the
Yes,
streets.
What
after
if he's just
2 kids.
entertaining other women?
Richard, don't
That's
be that
cheating,
dumb.
though.
From a
That's
conversational
cheating.
person.
Read it one
That's
more time.
cheating.
Read it one more
Why?
time.
What song is
He
that?
cheated.
Obvious.
I'm like,
Read that
what?
one more
Like,
time.
what are you guys like having his back? A cheater is like, okay. He said, "Here I go acting
What song
too
is this?
rich."
Time out. What song is this?
Hurricane.
A song Hurricane. This is one of my favorite songs on his album.
Me too. He goes, "Here I go acting too rich. Here I go with a new chick.
Mm.
And I know what the truth is, still playing after 2 kids. It's a lot to digest when your life is always moving." First of all, 2 kids.
Where
That's
is it- so-
after he had Saint.
But what
Because
does
he
that
had
say
2
he
more
cheated?
kids. Does he literally have to say, "I'm cheating on my wife" for you to know
Or
he's
is he
cheating?
talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
What, playing,
Well,
getting
what do you
his-
think that
his
he's
dingling
saying
sucked?
Nah,
That's
I think
not
that
cheating?
He's saying that like his life was going fast, and that he was having conversations with other women.
Am I hearing this? That's
Conversation?
cheating.
it's playing.
So if you
That's
talk to another
cheating.
woman, that's cheating.
Okay, I get what you. Okay,
I'm not gonna say that. He
Let me-
was cheating.
That's what
Let me-
y'all want to play.
Okay, look,
So you
look,
telling
look.
me right now. So wait. If Erica wasn't here and Nika's across the table, I say, "Hi, how are you doing?"
No,
I cheated.
not in that
No.
context.
What are we doing right
So
now?
look, I
That's
put.
not what he did.
I get what
That's
they're.
He said, "Hi, how are you doing?" with
That's
his
different.
dick and her
He did
vagina.
not
Wait,
say
he didn't
that.
say that.
He did not say that.
So, damn.
Real fast. And it's not what was said.
That's not what was said.
That's
but
what
I put
I
it like
heard.
this.
That's what I heard.
But
He
that's
said
what-
she thinks.
and that's why I'm about to translate, because I understand. Like, we're seeing it one way, and I'm trying to be objective.
Man,
So-
stop trying to be objective all the time
So
and
look-
just be a real nigga. Like,
He is.
that's not what
being-
he said.
No, he did say that. Josh, be
Listen.
objective.
Listen, so y'all taking it like even if you talk is cheating, which
My man-
No,
It's-
I'm not.
it's
even
a
taking
Jace.
that- I'm not taking talking like as in talking. I'm saying talking like body talking. Like
well,
He
if
did
you're
not
saying
say
that,
that.
he didn't say all
he
that.
said he was with a
He-
new chick.
he might have-
Oh, he
What does that
didn't.
mean?
he's Kanye West. He's a billionaire.
But
What
what does
that
that
mean?
mean that he's with a new chick? What does that mean?
That
to
means
you?
he is
He
sleeping
can possibly
with
just
her.
entertain.
What if it's a new artist and he just in
Well,
the
damn.
studio
So
with
then
her?
say that. Say I'm in the booth with a new artist.
That still means
I'm gonna opt
hit.
out and say black men don't cheat.
He still hit. Black men
You
definitely
guys have
cheat.
excuses.
Shout out to Lil Duval. No, black boys cheat. Black men don't.
That is the most bull I've ever heard in my life. Men do cheat. Not all men,
Yeah,
but
men,
men.
not black men.
Yeah.
So, oh my god.
Boys, stop.
This is getting interesting.
I'm just saying. I don't think that
You
that
guys are
line-
Like,
taking
do we
up for
have to
him.
define cheating now? Like,
So do
No,
black
let's
women
not.
cheat?
Honestly, there's a study that just came out that said that 50% of women.
when they say there's a
Like,
study,
how do you know
it's gonna be some bullshit.
Yeah, I already know
a
it's coming up
study
to
that Richard made
No, no.
and published.
Hey, real talk. Hey, for
When you
real, for
say
real.
that,
A study came out, really? You believe in studies all of a sudden?
Hey, I'm a scientist. What did we say earlier? I'm a philosopher.
How
I think very
convenient
deeply.
for you.
I think very deeply. Nah, but there was a study that just came out.
How deep do you think?
It's very.
Really?
Rich ain't getting no sleep tonight. I'm gonna tell you that.
Wait, in what way?
Hey.
Not that way. His ears is gonna be full. So that's what you think?
You be surprised. I'm not gonna go there.
He doesn't pillow talk with me. He
No, I'm
rejects me
saying-
on the pillow.
I'm saying what he's saying right now.
Nah,
you're gonna
listen.
have
It's
some
all
words.
bullshit.
You're gonna have some words later on. So
Hey,
you
but
gonna,
no.
I'm not
For real,
worried
for real.
for weeks on
Hold
end.
up, hold up. There's a real thing I seen. It was even on the news. You could Google this. But there's a thing that came out where it said 50% of women already have the backup dude in mind.
Oh no, that's a fact. I'm not going to even.
So
Wait,
that's-
how do you know that?
That's
That's
what the
a fact.
studies say.
So, I'm
is
gonna put
that
it like
women
this.
have the backup dude in mind. So when you say do women cheat more? I mean, the studies say that women
So
have
I'm
the
gonna put it
backup
like
dude
this.
already in mind.
So look. I'm gonna break it down like this. I know the science. So, so
He's a
women they
philosopher.
have the dude that they go out to eat with, the dude that has the yang yang, you know what I'm saying? The yang yang.
I don't know.
They lying. Hey,
main
come on,
lane.
hold up.
Wait,
You
I
said-
know, I'm so lost.
She lying. You know, I'm gonna tell you they both lying because
What kind of
you
women
said
are
the
these?
yang
Yeah.
yang. They both looked at each other because they knew exactly what you were talking about.
What this
The main.
Wait, what is that?
I'm like, I don't know what
The
that
damage your ribs up.
Hey, hold up, Simmons. They locked eyes, but they gonna say they don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm so
How much
lost.
do I gotta say?
Wait, can you just say what it is?
What's the eggplant? They got they
Like
prefer.
a big dick?
Yeah, they have somebody that they prefer to. That's him.
What?
And then they got somebody that sponsored the trips and shit. So I'm like,
I can't
I'm so
understand that
lost.
mindset.
Yeah, that's such like a.
I'm not saying this, y'all, but they exist.
Maybe that's why we.
Yeah,
don't.
what kind of girls are you talking to?
No, I'm not saying I'm not dealing with it. Don't put that on me. I'm just saying what it is.
This is what the stats say. Is what he's saying.
Because I just feel like if you're happy with your significant other, then
I'm not
why
talking. About,
are
I'm not
you
talking.
lining
Well, I'm not talking
somebody
about.
else
I'm not
up?
talking about relationship. Well,
That's what
Even
the
if you're
stats
dating
say.
someone and you're really like feeling them and
Girls
like,
Yeah, some
aren't
people-
like that sex crazy.
no, I put it like this.
It's not
I put
even
it
sex
like
crazy.
this.
It's
So,
person crazy.
so speaking as a man that been cheated on, I put it like this.
Say that
So-
again. Hold up. Time out. Was you your man that's been cheated on, and you was with a woman? Is what you're saying, right?
Well,
I'm-
like,
I-
duh.
Hey,
I'm like, wait.
wasn't a man.
chill,
Yeah.
Wait, is that a question?
chill.
I'm not in those
Listen to the
streets, so-
journey of that guy, Rich. So what you're saying is you was with a woman that cheated on you.
Yes.
So we can agree that women cheat on men.
Oh,
Cool. That's all I was
100%.
trying to say.
Well,
All right,
we
continue
know
your story.
that.
Well,
All right,
duh,
continue your
people
story.
cheat on people, but what does
Yeah.
that have to do with black men don't cheat?
Continue your story. That's all I'm saying. All right, cool.
Have you ever cheated on
I'm just
a
proving a
woman?
point.
No.
No, we're not even talking about that.
Now have I no, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. So
No.
in my
Move on.
younger years,
Hey. Move on.
no, because it's still
Finish your story.
I still didn't
Chill.
cheat.
Finish your story.
I still didn't cheat. So,
You was never-
in my
hey.
younger years, have I lured like strayed? What's it? String somebody along? So yeah,
Cheated?
That's not cheating.
no, because we wasn't in a relationship. It was just.
That's like that little the Bow Wow post I just showed you.
Bow wow.
But you grow up and you get mature and all that stuff. So anyways,
Little
black
Bow
men don't
Wow.
cheat.
Yeah,
Let's see if
exactly.
they're correct.
Little.
Okay, let's say it's
Go back to
L-I-L.
what he's saying. Boys cheat, men don't.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for
Bow
proving my
Wow's
point.
grown now.
Shout out to Nika for proving my point.
Never
Little
gonna be
Bow
girl.
Wow.
He's always gonna be Little Bow Wow.
Until he's sliding out DMs.
He's
and all of a
Shad
sudden
Moss
Shad
now.
Moss.
If he
With the do-rags.
He can slide,
Got the
spin,
do-rags
flip.
and
I
All of
don't
a sudden he's
care.
Shad Moss when he slides.
If he slid into
I would not give a
DMs,
damn.
I know she wouldn't care.
I would not. I would be like, who's this little guy? Little money.
Until he say, hey, I'm gonna send a PJ to come pick you up, come through.
And I wouldn't.
It's like, nope, nigga.
Seriously,
I love the
standard.
hypotheticals.
The
What's up?
standard is too high.
What's the standards are too high. What's the knock on Bow Wow? I'm curious.
Ew.
Ew,
Like, what's the no-
what is not the knock on?
I'm curious. I
Why
really
would
don't
I
know.
fly to someone that's like
Hold on one second.
my
Hold on.
son's height? My son's like,
She
let's
said
start
my
there.
son's height. Why you hating on
Yeah, why you gonna play Shad like that?
I'm not
Playing Shad like that.
I'm stating
Like a little kid doing the Harlem Shake.
Let's not talk about the Harlem Shake.
Oh
That's a
God!
different
And
story.
then we didn't even factor in my heels. Oh my God!
Hey, y'all should have seen the
Nobody
disgust in her
cares
face
about
though.
Little Bow Wow.
The disgust in
I
her
wish
face.
this
My
was
heels though.
recorded.
Now, if Drake slid in the DMs for Nika,
You see, hey, Josh, you see how quickly Eric had to clear that up?
And women don't cheat.
Hey, you see how quickly my wife, hey, look, hey, hold up. You see how quickly my wife had to clear that up? Now, if Drake slid in DMs for Nika, she had to throw
it
that in there
wasn't
real
like
quick.
that. It wasn't like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Just probably wants to do business. Duh. Why would
Oh,
I turn-
he want to invest
That's-
in you, huh?
Probably. Why would I?
Hey,
turn it
he
down?
want
He wants to make a deposit. He wants to make a deposit. Like, let me make this deposit.
He
on
is a certified lover boy.
That's why he got his album cover is everybody pregnant, huh? Okay. Okay.
Hey, that's a bar.
Okay.
Wow.
Neither here nor there.
So, consensus says which album is better? Let's bring that back real quick. Certified Lover Boy or Donda Donda Donda?
Well, it's obvious.
For sure,
Too
Drake.
much
Drake.
For sure.
Drake is definitely
I didn't
better
even
than
listen to
Donda.
Donda.
You didn't listen to Donda?
No.
Are you-
I'm telling you,
Why
after the first,
not?
At least skip that and
You're
see what
supposed
he's
to
talking
skip
about.
that.
I barely listen to Drake. Look, I get anxiety like when people like Drake drop albums and everyone's like, oh my God, like I can't wait for it to drop. Like it makes me not want to listen to it. So literally it took everything out of me.
You got an iPhone though, huh?
This is why I like
Yes,
Nika.
like it took everything. Like I didn't rush. Like I wasn't one of those people that was like posting his songs or like waiting until 2 a.m. Like I listened to it when I felt like listening to it, and I was just like, okay, like it's cool.
Can I just say something? This is why I like Nika. It could be a Scorpio thing. I'm sorry
It's
to
not a
always
Scorpio
take
thing.
it there, but
If
it's
she
like,
bitch a Scorpio or something.
but it's like,
No, my nigga, it's not a Scorpio
Hey,
thing.
it's the subliminal drop of the new clothing line that's
Yeah,
coming.
it's
No,
bro,
I know.
New glam looks coming.
no, but
Hey, another shameless plug. Shout out to Lil Durk. Glam Lux Fitness, new clothing line dropping. Fall collection is out right now. Watch out for the birthday collection. Boom.
no, but thank you, baby. I appreciate that. But no,
that
this is
ain't,
why
that ain't had to do
I
with
just-
this, but I just thought I should mention.
I just want to say this is why I really like Nika. Because I agree, like, why do what's so expected, what everybody's going to be doing? Like, why do the typical, it's like, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Say it.
It's like
Get
when
off
we
your
wore
chest.
black to the funeral. I felt like it's so typical to wear black to a funeral.
It's not
Everybody
typical.
wears black to a funeral. Or like Christmas. Everybody loves Christmas. So now my favorite holiday is Valentine's Day. It's like, why do what the masses do?
I agree with that, but at the same
I'm
time,
sorry.
but at the same time, did you still go check out the Drake album?
I did because I didn't have a choice for those. So here's the real truth. Deep down in my soul, God knows the truth. I did not want to hear the Drake's album when it dropped. I did not want to hear it on Friday, but I didn't have a choice because I rode in the car with Richard and he played it and I didn't have a choice. And I brought my earphones, but I knew he would get an attitude if I put my earphones on. So I was forced to listen to it. I really wanted to hear it on my own time. I didn't want to be like the sheep that, no, if anybody listened to it, like, because it dropped, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to call you sheep, but I didn't want to listen to it like the masses that's like waiting for it to drop at midnight. I wanted to listen to it like over the weekend. Because I don't
What's
like
the
to
difference?
do. I don't like to do what everybody feels like they have to do. I like to do things on my own timing.
I mean, like, there's a lot of people that's like weird like that will.
Weird.
No, I'm.
Uh oh.
I'm sorry.
Hold up, hey.
I'm not sorry. I'm sorry.
Josh, watch it. I'm gonna need you to make sure that you choose your words carefully.
Like,
You remember
talking
happened
to my
last
wife,
time?
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, when I'm
Y'all don't know
Agree.
this, but there's a deleted scene of the last episode, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Josh,
I wasn't even thinking
I'm not
about
that
I know.
sensitive. I'm sorry, Josh.
Now, when I said weird, I was about.
It's all love, though, guys.
No, what I was
promise.
saying is weird as far as the people that really stay up till 12. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'll listen the next day. Like,
I always find those people interesting. The ones that like 7 minutes after an album
yeah.
drops.
If you
and they
happen to
"It's
be
a
up,
classic."
if you
I
at
already
work
know
or
every
something like
word.
that, then okay. But if you just staying up, like, oh, the new Drake, like, bro, like,
That's
you need
weird.
I
I'm
don't like to
sorry.
do what's typical. I really don't. Like, I have an issue with doing what, like, everybody thinks you should do or, like, what everybody's doing. I don't like Christmas is cool, but I don't, it's not
So
my
you
favorite
like
holiday.
but do you like Valentine's Day only because Christmas is cool? So are you only trying to do the opposite to try not to fit in with the cool
Valentine's
people?
Day is Erica's favorite holiday.
Trust
Thank
me.
you,
on
Nika.
that.
That's period. Like, on period. Like, it
For no
doesn't
reason.
matter.
And you know what's crazy? I hate Valentine's Day.
But you take care of
'Cause
me
the
good on
concept.
Valentine's Day.
I hate the concept of Valentine's
it's a
Day.
responsibility.
And you know what I really hate about Valentine's Day is the cost. So it's like if I go buy Erica roses right now, I'm gonna just be so in case y'all dudes don't know, you buy your girl some flowers right now, you go to Vaughn's, $9.99 all day.
Yeah.
Beautiful red roses.
I'm gonna have to
You go to
mark-
Vaughn's.
Noted.
And they're beautiful at Vaughn's. That's what I'm saying. You gotta go to Vaughn's. If you go to Vaughn's, anytime around Valentine's Day, if you go anytime in
They gonna
February,
influx that price.
bro, like $39.99.
Mama's,
The same red roses.
but the cheat code though,
Like, what is we
the
doing?
cheat code, and this is no offense, but to anybody out there,
Nah, share the game. Free game. This
Fine.
is This is Simmons. Free game.
Hey, the Mexicans that be having the flowers, they know they out there on the corner. You better hit them up for the $5.
So even on Valentine's Day, they be taxing it. Now instead of $5, they be $20 for Valentine's Day. I'm telling you.
Well,
They-
it depends what like you gotta find.
They be
if
taxing
it's in a
niggas.
bouquet joint, then. But if it's like encased with the bear and all that, like, then they gonna tax you.
Yeah, they be
Cry
taxing
me a
you.
river that you have to spend extra money on me on my most favorite holiday.
That's stupid though. Like
Cry me a river. You bought me my best gifts on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
that's
this-
only because you like Valentine's. Day.
I
don't.
love
I
it.
personally don't like that mess. Like that's nonsense,
Yo, the dynamic of
It is
relationships
what it
is
is.
funny.
bro. It's wild. I personally
It
really
bothers
I
me
despise
not
it.
1% that he doesn't like Valentine's Day.
Only because
Because
you get
he
what you
shows
want.
up and shows out for
Look at Black
Valentine's Day.
Love. Look
Hey,
at Black Love.
shout out to it.
The
Christmas,
dynamics of love.
he, on Christmas,
Dun,
he
dun,
has
dun,
to
dun, dun.
force me to tell him what I want for Christmas. I'm like, I don't care. Like, whatever you want to give me, I don't care. But Valentine's Day, I'm like, reach for the stars, land on the moon.
Reach for the stars. Go up there and get her a star shirt.
Hey, that's what I'm gonna do this year.
Her
I'm gonna
name
buy you
on it.
next year. I'm gonna buy her a star for Valentine's Day. I'm gonna tell her that one's for you. I'm gonna print out
Let
a
it
certificate every
be
year.
golden with diamonds
There's
that
no
I can
gold
wear on
stars.
my
They're all
neck.
silver. All the stars are silver, baby. I can't create a star.
Oh.
Or are they? Dum dum dum.
But no, all right. What else y'all want to talk about?
We
My
having
mind's
too much
clear.
fun.
We're having a good time.
I
I like
know.
this.
What was the other topic? So we
Flowing.
gotta.
The entrepreneurial life, real quick.
Okay.
Let's tap into this real fast. I think this is flowing well. Shout out to lovely Nika for just hopping on the mic.
Yes.
Dude,
Sure.
Here comes our
kids is-
boys.
they turned up.
We're almost ready to go outside, baby.
Almost.
Almost.
So, okay, because I know we've
I love
been
how
recording
Tina
for
puts
quite
him
some
up
time.
to
Do you
the
want to
end.
dive into the entrepreneur or the advice you would give yourself?
Let's
Your
do that.
younger self.
Let's close out. Let's
Yeah.
close out with that advice you give your younger self and wrap this up. Let's start. You want to start? How you want me to start?
You start, because I ain't even think about it. I
All
got
right. So y'all can think about it. So we're gonna close out with this. This is our last little quick segment. It's the question is, what advice would you give your younger self? My Because I'm 31 now, my initial thought was your 10 years younger self. So it'll be my 21-year-old self, or you guys can just think of younger self in general, whether it be your 15, 16-year-old self, whatever it may be. But for me personally, I'm actually going to go back to, I'm not even going to say 10 years younger. If I can go back in time and give my younger self advice, I'm probably more so speaking to my like 15, 16-year-old self. In high school, that's like sophomore, junior year for me, to where, and it's when you're making, I was in position in life to like make these life-changing decisions, to where it's like you can focus on sports, you can focus on education, you can focus on both, whatever it may be. But just in terms of advice that I wish that I had as a kid in that situation, and it would be more so just like trust and believe in self.
That's so dope. That's literally.
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
literally.
so I'm gonna think of something else.
That came
All
to
right.
my
Well, now
mind.
y'all gotta think of something else, because that's the advice that's already out there. To that young kid, trust and believe in self, and I'll elaborate on it a bit here. So I want to say it from a standpoint so I was the kid personally that had good grades. I was a good athlete. I started on all the football teams, whatever. Had good SAT scores at that time. I was applying to colleges. When I was going into my junior year, I already got accepted into every college that I applied for, except for San Diego State. They put me on the wait list. Forget San Diego State, just saying that. Just for putting me on the wait list because I wanted to go there. But in all reality, it's have belief in self. Like, believe that you can. In terms of like whatever that actually may lead to. Like, just believe that you can. And if I would have had that mentality at 15, 16 years old, I sincerely think that I would be in a different place that I am in now. Now, granted, as you guys have heard through this conversation, I'm not in a bad spot in life, but I would be in a different spot, and I think that I'll be further along career-wise at this point in time in my life if I just believed in myself earlier in life.
Facts.
So whatever that means to you as a young person,
Do what you want with that information.
hey,
Facts.
like whatever that means to you, it's like believe
Hashtag
in
that.
self. Like, that's what I would tell myself. Like, if I wish somebody would have told me that when I was a kid, because I would have did the extra rep. Like, it's always crazy because I'll go back to like when I was in high school.
God.
All the homies that like would stay after practice and do like extra, and they would be like, I remember one time I took this dude home after practice. He was on the football field still. He was doing extra work, and I was just sitting there like chilling. He was like, hey, take me home after. I was like, cool. And after practice, I was doing nothing, just wasting time. And he was out there on the field working. He's like, all right, cool. Can you take me home? Took him home, and then like you find this out 5-6 years later, but my man made it to the NFL.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you was the one.
Yeah.
It was like, I know why you're the one. Like, you believed in yourself and you did extra.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was around to take you home, but why was I not on the field doing work with you instead of
You know what I'm
just
saying?
like lollygagging?
That's the
just
secret.
doing nonsense. So it's like, just believe in self. Like, take that, do what you want with that information, like Josh just said. So what would you give your advice to your younger self?
So I have
who else is available?
I have I have like a 2-part.
Go for it.
So there's one, it was somewhat to what you were saying, believe in yourself, but trust in your abilities. And don't be afraid to jump out the window to get started on whatever you want to do in life. So me growing up, I played sports. I played basketball and football. But I also had a love for music. So at 13, I started rapping and whatnot and all that. And then I learned how to do music production, making beats and all that. And eventually got into engineering as well. So before the photography and videos and all that stuff, that's where I started, with music. So me being working my first, well, I won't say my first job, but let's say the main job that I did at youth. When I jumped out of high school or whatever, I was working at Pet Boys Warehouse. And in my mind, I was like, I'm only going to be here temporarily. Like, when I get hired when I was working for people, in my mind is always, I'm going to be here temporarily. It's not a long-term thing, maybe a year, maybe 2, but I'm trying to go big or whatever. Mm-hmm. That mindset, and like, so fast forward 6 years later, I was still at that job, but I knew I hated that job. And it's like, fast forward to who I am now, and I'm just like, imagine if I would have just jumped out the window and just got started. Mm-hmm. Wherever, like, we always try to feel
That's
like
the key right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
just
get started. A lot of times we want the perfect situation. It is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. You just got to get started at where you at. And I often tell people, like, even if you work in a regular job, your first, like, the job you're working is your first investor. Mm-hmm. Look at your job as your investor into your business.
Hey, Josh been dropping bars all night.
Free game. So that's going to be your first investor. So trusting in your ability that you can do it, because a lot of times I grew up. How can I say this? It's weird. Like, I didn't really get. I won't say I didn't get the nurturing. I didn't get nurturing, but
I'm telling you,
imagine if somebody was to really speak life into me as a kid. I didn't really get too much of that. So if I would have got that, I would have believed in myself more. So I always thought, like, growing up, certain things wasn't possible for me. Like, it was a lot of self-doubt. So I had to teach myself to be comfortable in my skin and believe in myself and grind. So when I put out these affirmations on social media, like, yeah, it's free game, but a lot of times I'm talking to myself. Because I need to.
It's funny because I'll be the same way with my do-it-yourself with that information.
Yeah.
I be really telling myself that.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, a lot of times, like, I'm talking to myself, but I know that there's somebody out there that might be a younger Josh or somebody that just need to hear what I'm telling myself. Mm-hmm. So,
self-talk is important.
Self-talk.
Hold that.
So that conversation you have with yourself is going to be the most. That's another game right there, dropping gems. Talk like the most important conversation you're going to have in your life is the conversation with yourself. If you're talking to yourself stupid, it's going to manifest.
Facts.
If you're talking to yourself properly, it's going to manifest.
Facts.
It's like the book As a Man Thinketh. I can't remember, like, verbatim the quote, but basically.
Talking about Think and Grow Rich?
No, As a Man Thinketh.
As a Man Thinketh?
By James Allen, I believe.
I'm at that today.
So a garden, like, weeds don't need you to tend to it. It's going to grow regardless.
You know your books, James Allen.
You know what I'm saying? I might be ignorant, but I know something.
Sophisticated ignorance. I heard my cursive. That's a Kanye West bar, just by the way.
You know what I'm saying? So, but weeds don't require no attention to grow. So if you don't maintain your thoughts that come in, or the information that's coming into your mind, it can go either way. That's why you got to be selective about it.
Hold up. Say that again. I want y'all to hear what he just said. That was deep.
Low key, I can't remember. I'm in dreams.
My man just said, all right, I'm going to remember it for you. I got you. I don't know if y'all heard it, but my man just said, weeds don't require any intention or any attention in order to grow. That's deep. Keep going.
Facts. So if you just sitting around, and this is no knock on anybody, because I know some of y'all watch reality TV shows. But if that's all you consume, and then it starts to manifest, like, just, like, let me be ratchet and ignorant shit. Like, even if it's not reality TV, it's just like just certain information that you just taking in, watching different videos or being around certain environments. You have to be mindful about the information. It's like my boy Dame says, and like shameless plug on the other podcast though. Like, don't shoot the messenger podcast.
Hey, follow it up. Don't shoot the messenger.
So he made a reference to how the mind is like a USB, and all the information you download into it, it stores up. Mm-hmm. That's all you have access to. So if you putting a bunch of bullshit into your mind, that's what you're going to manifest into your life. So,
Bible.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, be careful about what you take in, because subconsciously we're being programmed, regardless if we know it or not. So if you're mindful about what the information you're taking in, the weeds will grow. However, like, you can cultivate some weeds, or you can cultivate. I don't know why that sounds weird. Cultivate. I'm drunk. So
you said that one right though.
But the way I said it, it felt weird. You can grow weeds, or you can grow flowers. It's your choice.
I know, because you got to cultivate the flowers. Maybe that's what you was thinking. I don't know.
No,
But
it's
you said
the
it
way
right.
I pronounced it.
Oh, okay, I
it
got
was,
you, got
it
you.
was,
Yeah, you
it
was
sounded-
you was on point on that.
But-
You was on point.
It's a choice. If you're not mindful about your thoughts and what's coming into your mind, you're gonna cultivate weeds. If you're mindful, you're gonna cultivate flowers. So that's just free game.
I like it. Who's next? Erica, you got something for your younger self? And then
Yes.
since Nika just literally showed up on the spot, we'll let you go last.
What I'm
Drop
going
some
to do
knowledge.
is just talk to my younger self right here on the podcast.
Ooh, it's about to get deep, y'all. Listen,
Well, I don't know if it's about to get deep because I'm a very surface level person, but I'm just going to be authentic. To my younger self, which my younger self was very, very broken. My younger self had...
told you guys it's about to get deep.
Just being authentic. And okay. My younger self was like so talented. If I could go back in time and just like realize the talent that I had when I was younger, I'm like, dude, like all you had to do was believe in yourself. But what I would say to my younger self is, Erica, be true to yourself. You were made for greatness. You have infinite potential. Your dreams will become a reality. You have so many talents, and you were made in God's likeness and image.
Affirmations.
God
Amen.
does not make mistakes, and He did not make a mistake on you.
Amen.
Facts.
Humans are
Take
sinful.
me to church.
Humans are sinful, and people know not what they do and know not what they say. So people have said things to you that are very hurtful, and people have broke you down and tore you down and made fun of you, but you're so beautiful on the inside and out, and you were made for great things. So just keep believing in yourself and never give up, because God has such greatness for you. And that's all I would say to my younger self. And I would say that over and 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 over again,
And
because
that's the definition of affirmations.
yeah.
Talking to yourself nice.
So like now what I do is I talk to my inner child that's broken and wounded, and I heal my inner child, so that way the self that I am now can just flourish and just not hold on to like things people have said about me. I've been through emotional trauma through my childhood, my teenage years. I've been made fun of, broken down, beat up, physically and emotionally. But now I talk to my inner child and I tell her that my higher self speaks to my inner child. And my higher self tells my inner child, like, you are so strong because you're still here and you haven't given up. So I would just tell my younger self, like, just be authentic and just keep going.
I like
That's
it.
amazing. And you're such. I just want to say this about my friend Erica. Is like, I was just telling her this in private, but I'm just gonna put it out there publicly because why not? She's like one of my most genuine friends. Like literally. Like I don't
They gonna start
feel
crying in a
any
second.
like
She gonna cry when she get in the car.
hate, jealousy, or like anything from Erica. Just not even with me. Just I feel like she's a great person with anybody that comes in her life. And that's just an amazing person that you want to have around you. She's a godly woman. She's a great wife, a good mother. And I tell this to all of my friends and family that I have. Like, you're just genuinely a good person. So everything that Erica has in life and that she receives in life, I know why. I know she's deserving of it. So
Thank
you're
you,
doing
Nika.
so good, and you're such an inspiration.
That was so genuine. You know, I know it was
cry.
genuine.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna drop a tear.
Yeah, I'm like, if you don't cry, I'm gonna cry for you.
Hey,
But I
you
told
okay.
Erica this like last week.
You know why
in
I'm gonna cry?
private,
You know,
so-
I felt that was so genuine because
I appreciate
Like,
that so much. Oh
we're
my
gonna start
God.
recording videos for our podcast, guys. I promise. That's gonna be in the near future. But what Nika was doing
I
right
don't
now,
even
she
feel like I can look at Nika while she's saying all that.
she tapped her heart when she said it. So it's like, I was like, I feel it. Like,
Thank you.
she,
No,
I,
for real.
I felt that. Like, that's what's up. I'm gonna drop a tear for you, boo. Don't worry.
No, like, thank you so much.
Of
Nika.
course.
But what you were saying was like super valuable. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that someone younger listens and hears that because it's super powerful.
Especially a young black woman, young kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, take that in.
Yes.
You know, we gotta build our black women up, build our young kings up. So somebody out there can use the information and, you know, run with it. Do what you know, apply it. That's
100%.
fit.
100%. Nika, the baby of the group. You actually, we might have to.
I'll be
Nika
28 next month.
You still a baby.
I know.
I didn't know you was that young.
You-
I knew you was in your 20s.
I-
but-
Good.
You a child. We might have to make Nika. We're gonna have to see.
Because
Once this
Nika's
goes,
mature.
She's doing a really good job. We might have to make her regular. We're gonna set his goals. I like the
I'm all
energy.
for it.
I'm hired, guys. Did you guys hear that?
I'm like, I'm all for it.
I like the energy that you bring, though. Like for real. But I mean, you're on the spot again. You weren't even mentally
Initially
when you came tonight. When we said, "Hey, you can come through," it wasn't with the intentions of being on
It
the
really
podcast.
wasn't.
It
It
was
was-
just because Nika's Nika. Like she cool.
Yes.
I was
Like, come
literally
through.
laying in bed and I was like, "Yo, come over."
I was like
Ain't
doing
nervous to
nothing
text
else.
you because like,
No.
wait, I know you have work
Well,
tomorrow.
really, I'll do anything for my child. So I
Yeah.
knew he would be happy, like spending time with
Oh,
Carter.
look
Our
at her
kids are
being
best
a good
friends.
mom.
She's such a bomb. We should like last week we took our kids to go see Paw Patrol,
Oh yeah, we did. do
and
that.
Nika was sick, and she was a ride or die mom. Like
Yeah, shout out
she
to
showed
you.
up for his son.
But do you have something that you would tell your younger self?
So originally, what was the question? Because I have something for that. It was about entrepreneurship, correct?
So we
were going to do that.
we were
then
gonna talk
switched it.
about that, but we
Okay.
flipped it
Yeah.
because
So
that
it
was
was
where the
just to
conversation
younger
was
self.
going. So now the question is, what advice would you what advice would you give your younger self, or what advice you wish someone gave you when
Okay.
you were younger? I went to like my 15-year-old self, like my high
Okay.
school developmental stages. Erica went to her younger self,
Right.
probably even before high school.
Right.
And Josh just wants his younger self. So it's like whatever younger self that you feel, even if it was, I mean, younger self could be 2 years ago.
Right. Okay. So I have two things. I know we're not talking about entrepreneurship, but this is one thing that I have always wished that somebody told me or talked to me about while I was young, and that is entrepreneurship. My parents never, ever installed entrepreneurship in me. They never even gave that as an option for me. And when I was in high school, that wasn't spoken about. It was just always
Careers.
career, go to
College.
college. That's all that was drilled into my brain. So I wasn't even thinking about the value and the freedom in owning a business. So now that entrepreneurship is more popular, and there's more, I don't know, education behind it and freedom that we know that comes with it, of course everyone wants to be in entrepreneurship for fair reasons. So now I wish that someone talked to my younger self and said, hey, college is not the end all be all. Yes, go to college, but maybe think about something that you would want to do to where you don't have to punch the clock every day, something that you
Shout out to that.
enjoy. What is your passion?
Dope.
Maybe start thinking about that. Go to college, but think about that as well. And maybe start that up, because you're young, you don't have any kids, and this is something that you can do. So I've always said, like, I wish that I was more educated on entrepreneurship when I was
like that.
younger. The second thing is, which is very valuable, I wish that someone spoke to me about being careful who you have relationships with, because I think that's important. I feel like when I was
Very
younger,
interesting. That's a whole other conversation.
it's a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation, but
That's so real.
it molded my life. So that's why I say I wish that someone told me when I was younger. I wish I talked to my younger self, like, be more gentle with yourself, with who you have friendships and intimate relationships with, because it will affect your
Future.
life
It will
going
mold you.
forward.
Mold your
It
thinking.
creates I like that thought. That's gonna be a.
I'm sorry, my answer was a little
No.
different.
I like your I love your
That's
answer.
so real
that's
and
a good-
relatable.
I'm writing this down for because so
future
Nika, I
we've
wish
been
the
talking
same
about
thing.
we've been talking a lot for this podcast. I want that to be a conversation for
Yeah.
another. I want that to be an actual conversation instead of just a topic you just brought up.
Yes, because don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful, I'm very thankful, I'm very blessed with where my life is at now. But of course, I just wish that certain relationships I didn't.
Like, you know what?
have,
I wish
like-
it never happened.
And I'm not.
I wish
And
I
I'm
never
not
met
even
you.
talking about, like I said, like intimate relationships. I'm
Just
talking
in
about
general.
friendships
In
as
general,
well, because
yeah.
it affects like your life. Like I just went to dinner with a girlfriend on Friday, and it's crazy how we just had such like a go-getter conversation, such an inspirational conversation, and you get so inspired, and then you start to embark on a new journey just from one conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And it's like that
where have all these like?
because
and same
that
with Erica,
same
like
conversation that same
We
conversation
were just talking
that you
about
were
that
having,
today.
That same conversation that you could have had though when you were younger with the wrong person.
It wouldn't have meant as much as now.
Not even that it
You
didn't mean
matured
no, it could have actually meant as much.
it
is
could
the
have
problem.
changed something.
No,
The problem is that when you're younger, you have that conversation with the homie who is like, "Hey, bro, we should go do this. Let's go get a lick. Let's go get quick money. Let's go do this."
Yeah.
And that motivates you and inspires you because you're like, "Let's go do that," instead of having that same conversation with somebody who was actually about something.
right.
I mean,
You don't realize
But
it.
at the-
But you don't know.
realize
But at the
it.
same time, like sometimes you're not ready for certain things. So it's like
That's true.
you
God's
ever-
timing is always
yeah.
perfect.
So like you ever read a book, and you
That's how I
pick
felt
up certain
The
information.
Alchemist. Yeah.
You pick up certain
Yeah.
information, and like the next time you read it again,
Oh yeah.
something stands out.
It hits
Yeah,
different.
something that didn't stand
Yes.
out before, it stands out to you now.
Think and Grow
because
Rich.
he wasn't that book.
It hits different
It always,
every time.
it always do.
Every freaking
That's a
time.
go-to.
That's a good
Right.
point. See?
Yeah, but I just think now, like, because those things, I didn't have that in my younger self. I'm like, okay, I'm a mom now, so I get to talk to my son about those things. Like, hey, I want you to go to college, but also I want you to think about entrepreneurship, real estate, something.
What do you
Property.
like? What are you passionate about?
Think
beauty-
about both.
The beauty and curse
Like Erica
about
always says, what makes you tick? What makes you talk?
Yeah.
Seriously.
the beauty and curse about going through certain experiences. Like, yeah, it sucks, but also shapes you into the person that you become.
Which I think is interesting though, because I feel like, I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but my parents personally, not even just my parents, but every person that I have in my life that I look at as a parent, they did not give me the experience